you know, I'm Fatima, and I'm coming from Kerala, and I am here on behalf of Pankhuri to take a semi-bridal mehendi session today. So yeah, without any delay, let's get started because ये बहुत time लगती है, like it will take some time for the semi-bridals and also let's start without any ado. So starting with a line. So अगर आपको like perfect partition चाहिए in everything, you can just, if the second hand is like near to this hand like this, if the wrist part is here, you can just keep the hands together like this, like equally like this. You can keep and draw a line similar to the other hand. Okay, so everything will be equally divided. Okay, so you can start with that. First of all, you can give some partitions like कहाँ कहाँ पर border belt end होना चाहिए, कहाँ पर you have to start the florals. So give a rough trace to start your design. Okay, so I have given a line के ऊपर I'm gonna give a layer of hum, mini layer of hums. Try to give those hums pretty near to each other, like that. Okay, so काफी दूर है आज camera because I need to get everything right. So that's why it's a bit intricate design. So we need to get each and every details in the camera. So that's why the camera is a little bit far. So I have given a layer of hums here like that. Go pretty slow. You don't have to rush. So everything will be neat. Now iski upar, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some thick leaves like this. Line, come back, start giving pressure at the end, high pressure at the end, and drag. So that's how you make those thick leaves. Landing line, come back halfway, start giving pressure, high pressure, and drag. Slowly rise the pressure at the end, okay? Low pressure say high pressure. And drag for the tip. Landing line, come back, start giving pressure and drag. Line, come back, pressure and drag. Line, come back, high pressure, drag it. Line, come back, high pressure and drag. So that's the first part. Okay, next I'm gonna give one more line pretty near to this. Ye line ki pretty near, I'm gonna give one more line. I'm just tilting it a little bit so I can design comfortably. Two lines, one more, because we are gonna darken that one. High pressure, and the speed also is equal, like the pressure and speed is equal, so we will get a even line, evenly thick line. One more layer of hum on the opposite side. A minute. exact same what we have done on the upper side. So same thing we are doing it on the lower side. यहाँ क्या किया? Same here. One layer of hump. Okay. सिर्फ हम इसके ऊपर कुछ और है. So again I have given a layer of humps. इसके ऊपर क्या करेगी is I'm gonna give one broad layer of, okay, a little bit broader one, like this. Try to make each and every humps look equal. So I'm trying to end this border belt correct on this point. So we have a little bit more gap actually when we do broader humps. इसके ऊपर I'll give a line like this and darken it. Like that. Yeah, like this you can darken it. And एक और line we'll draw and the border belt will be completed. So correct on that line we have stopped a layer of mini humps. This one is super mini. Okay, not the one we have done it first time. This is a little bit more mini because we have to stop at that line itself. Okay. So I need to finish it in this size. I have to adjust the size to complete on that correct ending. Okay. Because after designing and all, it may get congested. So to avoid that congestion, we are doing that. My hand is super small. So it's hard to design also, like in normal size. Everything you have to make smaller when you are designing in a smaller hand. Like that, I have divided one side. Now to the other side, I am gonna divide. But before that, this middle section, I'm gonna dark it. Even speed and pressure. A line of humps again, layer of hump. Like that. Okay. So one side we have done the partition. Now the next side, which will be the same thing, I'm gonna do a little bit lower than that one because we don't want to waste the space. We don't want to bring that congestion. So I'm just gonna do the same thing on this side also, a little bit niche. Now on the middle part, मैं darken कर रही हूँ ऐसी equal speed and equal thickness, like the pressure also will be equal. Now I'm giving a layer of hums. So what about you all had your lunch? I hope everybody had your lunch and it's time for tea actually. But in my case, I'll have my lunch late only. So now giving lines on this one here like this equally, the space will be equal. Okay. Now ये lines को हम columns बना रही हूँ by crossing it. ऐसे cross करके we'll make it as columns like that. Okay. And we are gonna darken this lines like a thick leaf. Thick leaf जैसे ही darken कर रही हूँ to make the detailings and extra. Okay. This like that. Okay. So high pressure at the center, what you should give is high pressure at the center and low pressure at the beginning and end. Okay. So next is I'm gonna give some fillings here. I'm gonna give swirls like this. Swirls के ऊपर I'll give humps. So this will be the whole filling inside this. Okay. ये वाली partition में इसके अंदर the same design आएगा पूरा fill करके. ऐसे again. Like this. Fill it wherever gap is there. Fill it from there. Okay. Swirl. Fill it from the gaps. Continue it like this if you are having less gap. ये gap में swirl दे दो. Where two flowers connect करेगी वहां पर you have to give the swirl. Continuing a half swirl here and continue it like this. So we have filled the two partitions and the belt. Okay, the border belt. Now I'm gonna give some florals. So florals will be started from here. From the outside part to the inside. So that's how you give a swirl. Okay, so you can control the, your hand and give a correct shape, like circular kind of shape to the flower. So next is what you want to give is petals. Like that. One normal petal of a flower, like we know how to draw this, right? It's not too hard. हम बचपन में ड्रॉ कर रही थी ये ऐसी flowers, right? It's not so hard. So normal like flowers like that. So whenever you, so here we are going to do a negative filling. Okay, so whenever you draw a negative filling or do a negative filling, you have to draw it bigger, because negative filling की मतलब you have to do it darker, like the outline darken करनी है after drawing and all. Okay, so darken करने के बाद smaller लगेगा, so we don't want that kind of look, because it's not neat, it won't look neat. इसके लिए हमको you have to do it bigger. Okay, whatever element you are drawing in a negative filling, वो you have to do bigger. Otherwise, it will look smaller when you darken. So I'm going to darken the flower first. So flower के ऊपर part पूरा हम darken करेगा, like this. Okay, we are not leaving any part of the outline. Only in the case of flower, okay? And balance elements, we are gonna fill it from the side. ये part we don't darken it. This side, the part which have connected to each other, we won't darken it because it looks congested after doing that. Like if we darken everything, it looks congested. Okay, just the outline and the sparse areas. Okay, so darken the outline part like that. This is why I told you have to do it bigger, the elements, because as you can see, पहले मैंने इसे भी बड़ा जैसे draw की थी, but after drawing it, darkening it, इसकी size, it have changed. You can notice it, right? So yeah, one more flower I'm gonna give here with a swirl. So we haven't finished that floral work. ये flower की work हम finish नहीं की है, ये वाली. We have some shading work in it. So we'll do that. From here, light stroke you have to give, like stroke shading. Okay, very light. Before darkening, you can do it because some people may touch this while dragging this like this. There is a high chance you may touch this darkened part. So everything will be ruined after that, because that one area consists of so much quantity of paste. Okay, so you don't want to touch that area. It looks kind of messy if you touch it. So try to do it before darkening. Now what next is, again, I'm gonna give petals. Connect to each other like this. Try to do each and every petal bigger, because we are gonna negative fill it. Okay, so before darkening, you can do the shading. Don't touch that darkened part, it will look messy. Try to avoid that part. Like this, very light strokes, very light product. So what you should give is very light pressure on the cones. You should even, like, you shouldn't feel that you are pressing the cones. वैसे pressure is what you should give, very minute pressure. That is the right amount of pressure you should give. Okay, so we are done with the shading again. Next, again, darken the outer part. Even pressure on the cones, so everything will look even. Try to do it in one go by pressing the cones. So that will be Like you will know what pressure you have given previously if you go continuously. So like the even pressure will be distributed if you go in one time. Okay, otherwise you will end up with two kind of pressure sometimes. So again, I'm giving a swirl here, a delicate one, like that. Okay, now on the opposite side, यहाँ पर a delicate swirl, like that. Now on the balance space we have this much space, वहाँ पर we are gonna give leaves, like that. यहाँ पर एक, like that. Next one, I'm gonna give on the side. Try to give it bigger, like do it bigger, because as I said, we are doing negative filling and we don't have to make the leaves look or whatever elements we are doing to look congested or smaller. Okay. So, yep, that's the thing. Next, what we are going to do is darken it, the outer part, as we have done the other things with the other elements. So darken this area, and the sparse area here. Okay, so we have darkened that swirl. Now what next is the leaves. Try to go in one go. Try it, okay? Not important to go in one go, but try it. So you will end up with the same amount of product distributed, okay? Darken this part and the outline of the swirl. Okay, so we are done with the negative filling part. What next is, I'm gonna give one more flower here because we want to end it here with the flower. Okay, so one more flower and we are ending this negative filling part after the flower. This time only the flower, no swirls and leaves, just the flower. We have to bring that flower like this to end here. Okay. So we are not leaving that space on the sides of the flower. We are gonna fill it with some intricate design. Okay, you can give it like this if you don't have much space to do. Like that. Now, the shades. Like that, small strokes, very light pressure, minute pressure is what you should give. Small line strokes. Okay, like this. Drag it from the bottom to the upper part. Drag it. Try to do it before darkening process, so you won't mess it up. Now we are gonna do the flower key outer part, the outline. So darken it. Done with the negative fillings. Now what I'm gonna do is, ye part I'll fill it with some grids. So grids will be not much small, but a little bit smaller one, not like this one. It is a little bit more bigger one. This is not. Okay, so we don't have much space. We are giving like that, lines into columns, converting the lines into columns now. Try to make the columns look equal, the size. So by practice, you will get that equal kind of size. Now, all over the crosses, I'm gonna give dots like this. Or you can fill it with any other kind of things. Okay, here I'm giving dotted grids. Okay, so we are done with the grids. Now, on the other side, here, I'm gonna give some partition from here to here. I'll part it with a line. Now, the second line, third one, fill it inside, make it a thick line. Now end it with one more line on the side, काफी close you need to give. It should look intricate, okay? Now, giving a layer of hum here. Like that, until the line finishes. Not on the other side, only this side we are going to give that hums. Now, from here, I'm gonna give a partition like this, okay? So let me see how it will go. So whenever you do something, like you have to do a rough drawing and then you can do the fair one, okay? Because it's easy to rub the rough one, but it's not easy to rub the fair one because it would already stain. Okay, staining process is very fast in case of henna. We don't have a eraser or something to rub. We only can design at that moment. Like what comes to our mind on that moment is what we are doing on the canvas or on the hand of your bride. One more line I'm giving, काफी close. Like that. And I'm gonna give a little bit of filling in this area. So dark like oval kind of shape. Again, one more. उसके ऊपर a layer of hum. Like that. Now we are going to continue filling with the same thing. Okay, first the thicker one, then the thinner shape on top, and fill it with hums. Like how we did here, the same thing we are going to do here, but a slight change in the filling design. Okay, like that. Now here there is some space, filling that space with that shapes or elements. Again, that shape, oval kind of shape or peacock feather kind of shape. So we'll be showing that also like the peacock and all in coming days. So be there guys, you will get some awesome figures and all from the class. So yes, we are done almost done with the filling. Fill it. We don't have much space, so I have continued like a half part here, and then I have continued with the hums. So that's kind of adjustments you should do in a henna designing whenever necessary. Okay, so next, sorry. So next what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna do a layer of hums on top of this thin line. So I can't keep hands on this hand because it's dried, but still if I keep my hands and move and all, it just goes away. The paste goes away, so I don't want that. If it was an original hand, I would have kept my hand on that hand. So giving some hums on top of that line. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give some thick leaves. So every time when you do a design, something should be there like matching the design, right? So here I'm giving that leaves, which we have given at the beginning step. So this looks kind of matching. Another element will also come like matching to this design. I'll show you. So like bring the element twice or thrice in the design to keep it matching, like the whole design should look as a set, right? So you have to bring the same element twice or thrice to make it look like a matching design, like, okay. So here I'm gonna give a line because we are gonna give a finger cap here. So if you have much space, you can give 2 or 3 lines, and then you can, fill those parts with hums and swirls or fillings, whatever you want. But I don't have space, like much space I don't have in the finger. So I'm just filling it with the finger cap itself at the end. Okay, now I'm gonna give some line here like this. Matchingly, I'll give one line here. Okay, now one more iske niche because I don't want much space. Now I'm gonna give us a layer of hums. Same continuing here. Small mini hums. Now the broad ones like this. Broad ones. Continue the line. And one more on the top of that. Now this area will be filled. Okay, so next is this area, which should be filled. Now, on this part also doing the same. So we have a space balance here, right? So in that space, I'm gonna do grids again. So this time a little bit more broader one. So second one. So the continuity will go like here. Now, from here to here, I'll draw a line twice as a continuation, like kind of look. I have to give it. So, yeah, giving that kind of look. Now, what I'm gonna do is thicken this line key between, like between part of these lines. I'm gonna thicken it in between those lines. Okay, so it becomes a thick lined grid. We haven't yet finished with the grids. Now we are gonna make another grid inside this grid. So that's kind of cool, right? Giving line and cross it. So it makes a grid inside a grid. So yes, it goes like this. And in each of the thin line cross, you can give that point. Okay, so we are done with those grids. If you want to make it much smaller, you can make it. If you want to make it broad, you can make it. It's all up to you. Now fill the finger cap. Why I didn't fill it first is because I don't want to ruin it while designing the grids. Okay, so everything at the tip and all, you can do it at last after filling the whole hand design or after filling each finger. Okay, end part you can do it. Otherwise, you'll ruin it for sure. Now this part we have balance, right? So this part, I'm gonna divide it like this. It's kind of weird division, which I'm giving, like anything is possible in henna right now. Like there is innovation going on, right? So we also have to innovate something. Giving a line thicker. Now I'm gonna start giving grids. So the whole henna design is having kind of a grid fest here, right? So yeah, it's kind of a grid fest going on, different kinds of grids coming all together. Now the element which I told that will repeat is this grid. Okay, so I'm gonna repeat that grid here. 1 minute, let me make my side. Okay, making it column, like converting the slanting line to a column. Low pressure, high pressure, and again low. Low, high, and low. Low, high, again low, high, and low. Same going on here too. Or if you want, you can give, I'll show you another method. You can give a dot or a leaf kind of shape like this, and you can drag it to the both sides, like draw a line to both sides. I think better than that will be the low high method. Continuing the pressure method will be good because that flow will be there. Otherwise, like that, continuous look, we won't get that. We'll get a broken kind of look. If your design want to look flawless, this is good, I think, in my opinion. Anyways, doing in a real hand is the best thing to do, like normally, like always. Because that kind of satisfaction, we won't get it in an acrylic board or what kind of board if you are doing, like you won't get that satisfaction. Because it looks different, right? In real hand, it looks much more neater. It looks really good, but in case of acrylic boards or acrylic hands, it won't look that good. Okay, giving a layer of humps on top of this hand. Okay, what's the time? Actually, I have passed 10 minutes. So let us finish really fast. giving a layer of thumbs, one broad layer, kind of looks like a Rajasthani traditional dress, right? Different mix of designs in one dress. Not the girls' dress, the boys. One kurta model dress is there, right? In Rajasthan, that one. So 2 lines I'm giving. Now part it. So this finger is kind of longer. Very small grids this time I'm giving. Very near to each other. The lines will be very close to each other. Like that, continue it to the other finger. Like the continuity is there. Like this. Like I said, it's a grids fest here. Full of grids going on in one design. So we are gonna make it cross, okay? Making crosses like columns, okay? It made like a rectangular ones. Okay, make it square, okay? I just don't have that comfortable side here. That's why it became a rectangle on the last finger. The second half or the ring finger was fine for me. Now I have to change my position, hand position to correct it. So hand position is like a very important thing. It depends on our grid position, like how our grids become correct, column and all. And whatever design you want it to be perfect, the hand position should be right. The consistency of your cones should be right. It should be like organic cones only can give you the finish you want. Okay. So I'm giving 2 lines, a layer of small mini hums. Smaller, longer one, you can adjust it according to how you get. Take a line and do one more hump, and here you can do the finger cap. You're done with that one. Now here we don't have much space, so we'll finish it with the finger cap itself, because there is a amount of space in each finger, right? So that kind of space should be there in every finger, like this much space in every finger, that should be there, or else it won't look good. So yes, we are done with the design. This is the final look. It looks good. So yeah, I hope everybody felt it good. Like, I hope everybody felt it nice. I hope everybody loved it. So I hope everybody loved the session. So yeah, thank you guys. Now it's time for me to leave. So on behalf of Pankhuri, bye bye guys. Take care. Love you all so much. Bye. Thank you. And thank you, Pankhuri, for giving me such a nice platform. Okay. Thank you so much. Bye guys. Take care.